Hi there, Nimrandir coming back for the last of the 12 games of Christmas. So I'm leaving it in a bit of suspense in case you didn't look at the title for the video.
Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, so we're going to be playing some Street Fighter 6. So to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of surprised I didn't play more of this game. Like, a part of me wanted to go nuts with it as soon as it launched. Like, I got it roughly as a Father's Day present. But, so we're not jumping in at the moment because I haven't had much time to practice. So you'll see we're going into the one-player combo trials. I've done most of the tutorial stuff. And in another moment of suspense, gee, which character are we going to cover? As it turns out, I think, you might have already been able to gather this. I can't remember if I talked about it in my Fantasy Strike games. Blanka has kind of always been my, go-to Street Fighter character. Checking to make sure I'm on the classic control scheme, because it's the way I learned to play the game. So you'll notice the combo trials here are undone. I've messed around with other characters, but specifically left Blanka's undone for this moment. So, he starts off with what you'll sometimes hear called the classic bodega combo, because just about anybody in a grocery store can do it. The crouch into electricity, another kind of classic. Have to pause here to charge up the ball. The charge characters have kind of always been my thing. So here I'm, playing around with the coward crouch, which I had first worked with in Street Fighter 4. So, as the video goes on, I'll talk a little bit about my, history with the Street Fighter franchise. Spoilers, it goes back a bit. So, we're just kind of going through these, early, two-hitters, that kind of thing. Nothing terribly, sophisticated. I'm aware, actually, these days, you don't even really need these things all that much, because, there are videos, in-game that show you how to do them. Like, I remember back when Street Fighter 4 launched, there would be, people would post YouTube videos of, completing combo, challenges in video games, kind of showing people what it looks like. These days, and in the course of this video, I'm going to activate the in-game video, demonstrations for a couple of them, because there was one that really kind of threw me for a loop in terms of when I was supposed to be doing something. But, so yeah, here I am doing the, playing around with the new mechanics. You'll notice I'm not leading with the drive impact into the wall. Kind of, I think I mentioned this back, if you noticed, way back earlier in the history of the channel. I did a combo video for King of Fighters 15. Sort of my, preferred mode if I get stuck on something is to kind of, work on chunks of stuff. So, trying to get down the timing of the of the fierce into the roll, that kind of thing. So, yeah, because my time, I do like that the button inputs are already up there, so you can see precisely where you're messing it up, and it helps in some moments when you're trying to work stuff out. I'm still trying to get my, as I guess at this point, I'm still trying to get my, handle on, how long it takes to charge things. I haven't looked up everything to be sure, but it feels like the amount of time you've got to hold a charge to get off a command is less restrictive than it was in, some previous games in the series. So, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, just noticing there are times it feels like I, am holding the charge too long and the combo falls, but the combo breaks. But so yeah. And then periodically I'll just go into, okay, well, yeah, that was me trying to get off just the, the cancel. I was gonna say get off the Blanka ball. So there we go. So done with the beginner trials. And yeah, this is another one of the classics. Crouching, I was gonna say jumping heavy into a crouching forward, charging up for a ball. I usually did the horizontal balls, not the up ball that it's got right here, but, so it's not that it's really my default when I'm playing Blanka. It's like when I'm playing just about any Street Fighter game. I was actually, that electricity combo, I was really bad at doing that length in Street Fighter 4, going from crouching light to crouching jab. So, I got so excited about it, even after I'd finished the combo and was supposed to be on the next one. I was like, I can't believe I just did that as quickly as I did. So, lucky, I suppose. But so yeah, this one is one that I was kind of trying to get the hang on how long to hold the charge. I got it faster than I was expecting. I don't think there was I don't think I did any substantial editing there. This guy here, I'm just kind of playing around with one of Blanca's new toys. I don't know if he had this kick in Street Fighter V. I didn't play an awful lot of Street Fighter V. They honestly kind of lost me when he wasn't available at launch. Now, weirdly enough, that says something. I'm the kind of person that I didn't care whether or not, the game was all that great or not. Street Fighter V at launch had some serious issues, but for me, the deal breaker was no Blanca in the day one cast. It took me forever. I think I played it through PlayStation Plus, and he still wasn't available as part of the free stuff, so I just let it go. So as I'm working with this, trying to get this particular combo down, I'm currently trying to get down this the crouch, as you say, the fierce into the launch into the up ball. So if you can see, it's not coming out. I've had a hard time getting down the down 2-button thing to go into the crouch a lot. So it's going to be a repeated theme throughout the video. Just brace yourself. I should also point out now, I am recording this audio after the fact in case it wasn't clear from what I just said right there. But because when I play Street Fighter, I never did get the handle on using triggers for Street Fighter buttons. So I have a Mad Catz fight pad that I use with all the buttons kind of laid out next to each other. Unfortunately, the Mad Catz fight pad does not have a headset jack. So I'm going to be any Street Fighter videos I post, I'm going to be recording the audio for them after the fact. That's just kind of the way it's going to have to be. So I'm getting close to wrapping this thing up here. Yeah, there we go. I hate jumping combos. They just always aggravated me because trying to figure out what I should have done is just immediately watched the the video to see exactly where I'm supposed to be hitting Ryu out of this jump so I can time things. But yeah, I also similarly I had a hard time doing the flipping roundhouse that he's had since the 90s. I guess actually the 80s. Street Fighter 2 came out in 89, I think. So, but yeah, so yeah, I was always bad at here's the timing that I managed to miss the kick twice in a row. Between that and lining up the getting into the coward crouch afterwards. So I do appreciate there's only 2 punches. If I remember right, in Street Fighter 4 it was 3. But so yeah, so my Street Fighter experience, it goes way back. Like I said, when I'm not really kidding when I say I've been playing this game for years now. I saw it in an arcade cabinet at a bowling alley. So yeah, as I land the slide, but so yeah, I started onto Street Fighter 2. Like I said, my parents were in a bowling league, and I kind of had to go with them. This is me watching the playback of the video. I didn't just execute that first try. This is me watching. But yeah, so I got into Street Fighter 2. I saw this, arcade cabinet sitting in, as you said, back in the days when the bowling alleys had multi, game arcades kind of sitting in there because bowling's not super duper fun to watch on its own. So I went in and I saw this, crazy game with all of these as you said, these one-on-one fights. And there was this older guy, he was probably a teenager, maybe early 20s, who would come in and just manhandle the single player mode with Chun-Li. I never actually got into playing the game with him because I just didn't do a lot of quarter munching at that point. So I'm not sure what exactly move I pulled off there. I don't know if that was me doing this air ball that is another one of Blanca's kind of newish things. Maybe he had it in Street Fighter V. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not. Took me a while to get a handle on getting hits with this air ball. So figuring out how to charge in midair. There's some. There's sometimes you can see me kind of just practicing the jump, doing the jump back charge. But and hitting the wrong buttons here, kind of fat fingering. But so anyway, so yeah, I got into Street Fighter, and then we got crazy excited when it came out for like home game consoles instead of having to play it in arcades. I actually had a hard time, playing it in an arcade for a long time. I don't have my hands aren't terribly large, so I'd have a hard time hitting hitting all of the buttons and whatnot. And to this day I still do better navigating a Street Fighter character with a D-pad than I do with a stick. Anyway, so yeah, so I got into it. I guess I got everybody into playing Street Fighter 2 in my in my high school class. Now, granted, I went to a very small high school, so like I can say on some level I was like the best Street Fighter 2 player in my high school, but that's kind of like a very small pool. Like for reference, my graduating class I had 19 students, counting myself. So. But anyway, so I played a lot of Street Fighter 2, and I remember being drawn to Blanka back in the day because he was like the wildest looking character. Everybody else was kind of looked like a martial artist. I mean, you got Dawson, the yogi, who he doesn't look like a traditional martial artist, but I was basing it on sort of just like the character portraits, and I was like, dude, this guy like bites people and he generates electricity. That seems cool. And he has what's with these chains on his ankles that somehow still fit his ankles, from, like when he was like much younger, not fully grown. But anyway, so I got into playing Blanka, and I've kind of always stuck with him. I think I found charge characters sort of suited my relatively defensive playstyle. I think I've said before, I might have said this in reference to some other fighting games when I was doing my Fantasy Strike series. I do much better with fighting games that require you to block by holding back on the pad or stick, what have you. Part of my issues with Virtua Fighter is, I'm just like I'll either reflexively start trying to hold back instead of using its block button, or I cross myself up trying to do the blocking. I'm much better with Capcom style, back to block type stuff. So here we are working on still trying to work on this airball combo. So yeah, so I played a lot of Street Fighter in high school, and I think I'm finally about to get it. Nope, not quite. I shorted it there. So there was a lot of everything in this video, to be perfectly honest. This is the thing I spent the most time on. I cut out a lot of me just flailing around and jumping in the wrong direction, hitting the wrong buttons. It's, there we go. Now, oddly enough, when I did that, it didn't look like the one if you go back and watch the display video. They hit the air ball way later than I did, but so I'm grateful that it doesn't make me precisely replicate what happened. Yeah, this is the one where I had to watch the video I had to watch it to make sure what's going on. You'll see me keep doing these balls. I'm trying to do the like drive parry dash thing when the ball hits, and and it wasn't until this is the video playback where you see Blanka building up the charge, then he does it. So that, like I said, that threw me, so I'm glad that the video features here. Otherwise, I'd have had to have gone onto YouTube myself to figure out, why can't I get this thing to cancel? Because, I mean, there have been times where you can do that sort of, there's a number of frames the game is going that even though he's technically airborne, he's not. So yeah, here I cut out some more, playing around with it, and I kind of cheesed it by pushing Ryu into the corner. I don't think I bounced back as far as I should have. I liked playing around with this combo because Blanka's not had much cause to use his little double knee guy through the years. So the fact there's a combo into it, I thought was kind of neat. So So I have a hard time building up the charge. So, that whole adjustment with Blanka's electricity no longer being a button mash deal. So I have to go to down. I was gonna say I have to go to back, so I can't build a full down charge while triggering the electricity. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time with Blanca. So I played a lot of Street Fighter 2 in high school. I was never like a serious tournament player. Still am not. But I remember there was a putt-putt golf and games near my house that had like one of the big, like, it felt like it was supposed to be a tournament Street Fighter setup. Had a really big honking display that people could gather around. But I didn't do a lot of. This year I wasn't a tournament player. And I kind of lost track of Street Fighter, as I went through college. We got into, I got into other games. The PlayStation, stuff was, I really got into, Final Fantasy type, Japanese role-playing games for a long time. And so I actually, I think this is when I finally land it. Yeah, so going into Combo 9. This one, yeah. This is me just, it's like, I think I stared at the screen for a little bit looking at it. I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and take a look at this thing and see how exactly I'm supposed to land this. Now I go in and try it myself. But yeah, so I kind of left Street Fighter, in my past for a long time. But it finally came back, I was gonna say, when in 2009, when Street Fighter 4 launched. Weirdly enough, I finished graduate school. I wasn't really near any of my, I was gonna say, any friends or anything like that. I'd gotten into, I'd gotten our Xbox 360, and I heard, like on Destructoid or Kotaku or something like that there was gonna be a new Street Fighter game, and that, appealed to me. So I picked up Street Fighter 4, I think on launch, and I had a ball with Blanca, even though he was pretty much consistently not a strong character in the game. I know that, as I said, it was also my first time trying to play fighting games online, which is interesting in hindsight. The Street Fighter 4 netcode was, I suppose, okay for its time, but, not stellar in comparison to the stuff that we have going on today. Like, Street Fighter 6 would be using, or that you saw in Fantasy Strike. So I remember playing, but Blanca was the sort of character that I think he built up a lot of heat online. I think he kind of always has. His turtly gameplay style, I think, aggravated a lot of people during the Street Fighter 4 era. I remember one particular guy, if you look back, the flowchart Ken memes are still out there on the internet, but there was one particular match that if I'd been able to record things in the day, I'd have kept it for posterity. This guy was playing Ken, and like, I got a knockdown on him, like with a sweep, maybe a throw. I tend to throw a lot, but anyway, so yeah, he just kept, like I said, and all I had to do was kind of hover around him, and he would throw a dragon punch on reversal, hoping to catch me. I would block because I was blocking. Like I say, I'm a charge character. I was used to holding down back by default. And he just kept doing it, and I just kept throwing him, knocking him back down. Like, I won an entire round with nothing but, whatever the initial knockdown was, and then throw damage from there until the match ended. I got a pretty hateful message from that person, if I remember right. I tended to at the day. I still do it when I play people online. Back in the Xbox 360 days, I would actually track down, go back through the played games list and then send like a GG's type message when everything was said and done. Here for this new combo. This was kind of new for me. I'm actually practicing doing one of Blanca's supers. That is a legit, I'm having to practice it thing, because, yeah, I was... It's like, it was like, I was gonna say, I didn't have the double fireball motion. I'm too used to the down-back charge, and then his old down-back, forward kind of deal. Because, yeah, here I am, just kind of wailing away on trying to get this combo to land, but... So yeah, so I played an awful lot of Blanca through the years. And now here I am trying to get the link bit in. Like I said, I tend to focus, like if I get stuck on doing an entire combo, I'll kind of work on bits and pieces of it, and then figure out how to connect them. Whether or not that's an appropriate thing to do, I'll leave that to, people who are better at these games than I am. But that's just always the way I've handled it. So like I said, I've noticed the combos so far. They didn't do an awful lot with some of Blanca's new, newer, tool. They said there was that one with the air ball that threw me for a loop. We're getting to the combos now that actually like start utilizing his, his supers. So yeah, so it does feel, I'm just like practicing here. So. Yeah, so this is, I think this is where oh yeah, I almost had it, but, and I got really confused here, because you'll see me pause, and I'm like, wait, what just happened? Why did it not say success? If you need to, go back and watch it, figure out exactly figure out what went wrong. I think you might actually get to see it again, because I think I repeat, I'm like, oh no, I whiffed that one. Yeah, yeah, so I'm just kind of stopping here. You're like, wait, everything's hitting. What's he doing wrong? You might be able to figure it out. Yeah, you catch the difference? Like I said, because yeah, this time I'm going to get the success, and you're going to be... Feel free to tell me in the comments. And so I'm going to be honest with you. Here is where I kind of checked out on trying to get the whole thing done. A part of me, considered coming back in before actually recording the audio for this. And getting another, taking another whack at it, but having to integrate one of the new fireball, it's just a double fireball supers into this thing. I've got a feeling if I can get to that point, it's actually not all that bad, because if I remember right, Blanca's, level 2 super that he does here, as memory serves, you no longer have to worry about holding a charge. You basically, instead of where the command instructions are showing the hold down before doing the up ball, if I'm remembering right, you can just do down up, just like tapping. So if I could get to the point where I could unlock the, the biggest issue is going to be just my muscle memory of years of holding backwards for, 2 seconds. It's like, how can I do this? But yeah, so at this point I had kind of checked out, and I was just I was just hoping to get the whole combo into the EX electricity. And that's where that's where I was planning on kind of piecing out. You'll notice again, I've spent a lot of time with playing as a charge character. So I'm supposed to be doing the regular standing, short kick. And then I'm messing up. Some of me trying to get out the EX electricity, I'm actually ending up, you'll see the flail there. I'm trying to do a throw, but yeah, so I'm supposed to be doing the standing short, and instead I am crouching because I default to thinking I should, like I said, the ABC of, characters like Blanca always be charging. So yeah, so here I am. Getting used to, dealing with these things, and like I said, because dealing with the drive parry and whatnot, because it's like Street Fighter 4's big mechanic was the focus attack, and I barely used it unless I was trying to punish somebody for, an unsafe move, because it was like it didn't work, it didn't play nice with charging. So, at least it didn't as of, I think I played through Super. I know there were, I was going to say, I got quite a few updates after that when they added more characters. I didn't play much after Super 4. Life kind of got busy. So at this point, I think, yeah. I said, yeah, my objective was just to get the first bit in. So have I stopped to notice it yet? Yeah, I think at this point, yeah, if you haven't already noticed, the fact that the little parry thing that leads into the dash, the fact that Blanca's parry animation is turning, like sticking out his butt, like daring somebody to kick it, is kind of endearing. I tend not to play really serious characters if you haven't already, you know. Yeah, like I said, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I usually don't end up playing playing characters that are like really integrated into the the plots or anything like that. Yeah, I think I actually somewhere in here. Yeah, I think I'm about to get it, but or am I? Am I messing with you? Yeah. Oops, I did a. Wasn't even the right. It wasn't even the right. Yeah. Almost there. Did the crouching light again. Like I said, I'm still doing that half the time, so. Yep, I did the crouching light. Like I said, yeah, it's like I. Come on, you can do it, Nim. Come on, do it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I thought I didn't know yet, and so this is kind of where we're gonna check out. So I'll mess around a little bit here, but as always, thank you for watching the Nimrandir's 12 Games of Christmas series, and we'll probably see some more Street Fighter 4 on the channel, and we'll wrap up with Blanco wiggling his butt. Thanks a bunch for watching, folks.